when it rains, it pours. And it was pouring threes in Denver today as Denver gets taken down with a double-digit loss to OKC. Man, what a game from SGA. What a game from OKC. What a game from Payton Watson. They came into Denver, and I think with a little bit of extra pep in their step, they came down and they absolutely laid a hammer in Denver, having maybe their best offensive performance of the season through three quarters. And then the Denver Nuggets, they just did not have the juice or the defense to bounce back. Jokic, underwhelming game, second game back, whatever, but still an underwhelming game. Jamal Murray, 12 points, missed every open shot imaginable, but Payton Watson showed out and showed up. We got a lot of stuff to get into tonight, y'all. I got this show and we got Locked On NBA. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get to it. What's going on, y'all? Welcome in. Shout out to you all. If y'all can hear me okay, let me know if you can hear me. I feel like my audio is a little bit off. But the Denver Nuggets, they lose 121 to 111 to OKC. And y'all, the score that the game finished with does not indicate just how the game looked. It felt like in the third quarter, it looked like this was a demolition. And it didn't feel like the Nuggets offense was bad. What was bad was the Nuggets 3-point defense, and even on contest, because they had given up so many open threes in overhelping on Shea, they then just gave up every three imaginable. And through three quarters, OKC, they made 18 threes, I think, on 37 attempts. I believe they were 18 of 37 through the three quarters, and that was already the fifth most threes that they made in any game this season. SGA had a season high 13 assists in this game, and I want to say at least 10 of them led directly to three-point shots. So this is exactly what OKC fans have been wanting. They've been asking for the team to be better shooting around SGA this year. They're currently 15th in the NBA in three-point shooting. And today they come in and they absolutely just bomb everything. And what I love to see is that this team was responding by just simply spamming, going to the same thing over and over again, which if you're going to help off and then you're going to do too much off of Shea, and then if he's not scoring, then we're going to get to the three-point ball and we're going to make him. Payton Watson had a career-high 27 points and a career-high 7 threes made today. And I think he made all 7 through the first three quarters. And then on top of that, you got 3 of 6 from Aaron Wiggins today from 3, 2 of 3 from Jalen Williams, 3 of 9 from Isaiah Joe, 2 of 6 from Lou Dort, who was 2 of 4 at one point in time. It was just one of those games where everything that could have gone wrong for Denver's defense was going wrong. And then on the other end, they could not generate the necessary looks, or at least finish on the looks they needed to. And today, Nikola Jokic only took 9 shots. So on 9 shots, the numbers are whatever, but he had 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists today. He did have 6 turnovers, I think 2 in the fourth quarter as well. How do I describe this? Like, I think Jokic was fine in the first half. He only had 2 points, I want to say, in the first half. I thought he was playing fine. I think that they just were overhelping, and so he was just passing the ball, and he was allowing for the Nuggets kind of eat off of him and just wasn't being as a scorer as he normally is. But really, Jamal, who was 4 of 16 today, which a lot of Nuggets fans are just feeling like all kind of ways, and they're, ready to apparently jump him off the ship and all that. Jamal Murray was 4 of 16. He was only 1 of 8 from 3 today, so that wasn't good at all. Like, he got blocked at the rim multiple times. Just not great decision-making, but Jamal Murray has been one of the best open three-point shooters in the league and pull-up three-point shooters in the league. He's been the best. So he just missed everything today. He was 1 of 8, and that was 12% from 3. So I'm not going to over stress that. I think he just had a really bad shooting day today. He only had 1 turnover with 12 assists. He had a really good playmaking game today. He was creating a lot of open looks for people. But Tim Hardaway Jr. on the other end, Mr. Reliable for them, 0 of 4 from 3. So again, just last game, Jamal Murray and Tim Hardaway Jr., they couldn't miss from the three-point line. Just the last time we saw them. On Friday, when they played, Jamal Murray and Tim Hardaway Jr., they were 9 of 12. They were 9 of 12 from the three-point line 2 days ago. 9 of 12 from the three-point line 2 days ago. And then today, on very similar looks, if not the exact same, they were 1 of 12. So also the difference in the game today is the 3-point shooting from their two best off the bounce 3-point shooters that they have. So they had very bad games, and that obviously affected a lot. But look, Spencer Jones was 2 of 2 from 3 today. He was a minus 22. He tried to play defense today, but SGA, honestly, like I said, you just got to give him credit. That was just one of those games where SJ was just making anything and everything. It's just crazy, like mid-ranges, like creating contact, getting to the rim. He was 11 of 13 from the free throw line. He was shot 16 times. He made 11 of those shots. He had 13 assists. This was like just, I think a great, phenomenal game from SGA, and I think a great, phenomenal game from the rest of the OKC Thunder. They were just delivering on all of the looks that they were getting off of those passes and just really off of the motion. So I do think that Denver has some things they have to work around. Now, obviously, they're missing 3 starters. Obviously, OKC is missing J-Dub and Caruso. I do understand that, like, people are going to feel a way about this, but, some of this, y'all, is, sometimes you're just going to play versus people and they're just going to be lighting you on fire. Remember, Denver did this to OKC last year when they went to OKC, and I think they made 50% of their threes, and they think they put up 144 points on OKC last year. So they felt the exact same. Denver went into their house and couldn't miss from anywhere. And I think Jamal had a phenomenal game that game. So, like, both of these teams have now done this to each other. Jokic, I don't know if necessarily he was more assertive in the second half. Like I said, I think he scored 14 points in the second half, but it really was, I think, down the stretch of the game. There was obviously a lot of infighting between him and Isaiah Hartenstein and him and Jay Will. Again, OKC, they're coached to do that at this point because they know that the best way to get under Jokic's skin, but also to defend, is just by being overtly physical. And I think Jokic handled it well in the first half and in the third quarter. But I think once the team started getting down, it all just kind of started coming apart. Denver, I believe, scored 30 points. I think they scored 30 points inside of the third quarter. So it's not like they weren't scoring and they weren't playing well. OKC just couldn't miss. Yeah, Denver scored 30 points in the third quarter, and OKC scored 39. That was like the big difference. OKC just could not miss. I believe they made 8 threes inside of that third quarter as well. So it's just really that simple, man. I just think some of this is like they didn't do a lot of the things from a discipline standpoint that they needed to do, and it cost them. I think it's that simple. And I think that just all the way around, they're going to have to obviously work on some things. They play again on February 27th, I believe. But, yeah, I mean, these teams are going to go to war. I mean, that's kind of the feeling about it. They're just going to go to war, and they absolutely, at this point, not that they dislike playing each other, but they know that they are each other's best competition. And so every single opportunity they have, I think it's going to be one where they're kind of playing like this. But, y'all, I want to give a shout out to Payton Watson, man, because, I mean, at this point, like, I don't know what to tell folks. Like, Payton isn't just some guy. Like, I think he has gotten to a point where they rely on him so much to create advantages and create looks for other people. And I think Payton has responded extremely well by stepping into this brand new role. Payton Watson today had 29 points, y'all, 29, 5 rebounds and 3 assists, 1 block and a steal. And he was 5 of 7 from 3, 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Now, he did have 4 turnovers. Now, again, I'll continue to say this. Payton Watson today had a very bad on-ball turnover where he is trying to cross half court, and I think it was Payton Wallace that was defending him. They just didn't, like, he doesn't have the tight enough handle to consistently get up the floor versus elite ball pressure. But David Adelman knows that he has to get better at that, and the only way for him to get better is for him to do it. So it felt bad in the middle of the game, obviously, but I want people to continue to remember this about Payton. Because what's happening is I'm noticing there are certain people that are highlighting the bad things that he does and not highlighting a lot of good things that he does. Now, beyond just the spot up 3-point shooting, y'all, it's everything. And I think Payton today, he delivered as the on-ball player and it's the release valve for Jokic and Murray that they needed and that they were looking for. even though Murray in particular did not score well today, Payton counterbalanced a lot of that in his own way. So I do think that his defense is going to be needed. Like he's going to, as he steps in further into his career, figuring out how to walk the line of playing high level defense and being a high level offensive player, that is going to be a struggle because it takes years for players that turn out to be really good offensive players, unless you're like Kawhi Leonard. It takes years, or Paul George. It takes years for them to learn how to do those things well on both ends. And Payton Watson has the ability. He could be a legitimately great defender in this league. But today, I think he struggled a little bit, especially with the pace. But it wasn't just all Payton, though. It wasn't just his fault. The team, I think, broke down defensively as a whole. So they just have to come out with a better game plan. Like, they were just slagging off the shooters. And at one point in time, it's kind of like, look, if this is the way it's going, then you're going to have to let SGA beat you. Now, he was going in the 16 shots that he had, but if this is how it's going to go, then we need to make sure that we're allowing for him to be the one to solve this problem. And you got to stop overhelping, and you got to be able to keep people in front of you. And some of this is like, I think the Nuggets started overreacting, and then they didn't change with the quarter. Like, it was a 4-point game at one point in time in the fourth quarter. It felt like the Nuggets were about to get over the hump. They were going on a little run, but then they gave up 4 straight threes to OKC. 4. So it went from a 4-point lead to like a 12-point lead in the matter of like 90 seconds because they just simply could not get the stops. And if I can try to find that exact period, yeah, Payton Watson made a 3-pointer. So, y'all, it got to 77-74, y'all. Jokic made a 3, and this is his 14th point of the game. Jokic made a 3 with 5:50 left in the third, 77-74. Payton Watson made a 3, put it up 80-74. And then Chet Holmgren got a block, I believe, on a Jokic turnaround shot. Payton Watson made another 3 to put it to 83-74. Denver then calls a timeout. So then Jokic misses the 3-point shot. Holmgren gets the offensive rebound. SGA hits a step back 3. So 3 straight 3. So 74-77 to 86-77. Valanciunas comes in the game. Valanciunas didn't get blocked at the rim. And then they were scrambling around for about 30 seconds. And then OKC gets the ball, and Aaron Wiggins hits the 3. So it went from 74-77 to 89-74. A 12-0 run that felt like it basically ended the game. And then the next possession, SGA hits a turnaround jump shot. So, again, y'all, like 77-74, and then it was 91-76 because, at that point, then SGA was hitting turnarounds, and then he got to the free throw line. So that stretch of basketball really ruined this game. And Valanciunas was not good, and I just think he wasn't ready for maybe the physicality, the timing. They were blocking his shot at the rim. And it wasn't even the defense. It was the offensive decision-making that he had. Valanciunas, again, had 2 turnovers today on passing, like more passing turnover, very similar to the Clippers game, more passing turnover for Valanciunas. And the type of passes he's throwing is just not necessary for what the Nuggets are trying to do offensively. That didn't aid it. And then, like I said, Tim Hardaway Jr. went 0-4 from 3 and 0-6 from the field. Bruce Brown, he was actually a +1 today. He made 2 of 4 threes. His defense, again, on SGA, whatever, wasn't great, but nobody was guarding SGA well today. Julian Strawther off the bench was good. He had 9 points, also had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Another one of the big stories today is that OKC had 12 offensive rebounds, but they had 8 in the first quarter. And they were gang rebounding, especially when Jokic went out. When Valanciunas came into the game, they started gang rebounding, and that created more issues and more problems for Denver defense as well. So all the way up and down, like, I think the Nuggets just got outplayed today. They didn't do the things they needed to do on the boards. The Nuggets had 52 offensive rebounds to OKC's 46. But OKC, again, got 48 threes up. Denver got 35 up. They made 16. OKC made 19. But again, y'all, they made 18 through 3 quarters. So if you give up 18 3-pointers through 3 quarters against a team, then, yeah, it's going to get ugly. So the defense has to tighten up. And again, I think OKC this was a great game from them. They obviously haven't played super well versus like the Wolves and the Spurs and all that, but they came into Denver today and they absolutely set the tone from the beginning. And Denver was just playing catch-up ball game. It was bad. I didn't like the physicality at all. I didn't like how it felt like how soft they were playing at times. Denver shot 49% from the field and 46% from three, and they got beat by double digits. So just again, put that into your system. Denver was 17 of 24 from the free throw line. OKC was 22 of 27. Now, I think Shea made a lot of the difference, though. He got to the free throw line, and again, it was the when he hit some of the shots he hit. And then that period I said in the third quarter when it was 74-77, it was Kaysen, it was Shea, and it was Wiggins. They just made the right plays. And Jamal, who has been very good this season, he didn't balance it out at all. They did not get the stellar guard play they should have gotten out of Jamal in this situation. So, but I think people are also like, again, the same people that are very quick to make excuses for Yoke are also very quick to write off Jamal. It's not consistent to me. I think Yoke deserves the blame for not making the best decisions. And on top of that, it was the coverage and it's the minutes restriction. I get it. 100%. But yeah, David Adelman, per Vinny Benedetto, he's not blaming the officiating for the outcome, but he mentioned big guys get officiated differently on a 99 basis, while smaller players get a more consistent whistle. He notes 13 free throws for SGA and 4 for Jokic. Yes, that is going to be the story. But again, how are you going to overcome this? This will be the story. Again, like, I think this is something you will have to expect. OKC is going to defend Jokic in ways that you're not allowed to defend SGA, but that is the NBA. You cannot defend guards the same way you defend centers. So now what? And again, Jokic didn't need to assert himself as a scorer in the first half because they were scoring the ball. The issue was the defense. They have to play better defense. If you're going to overhelp, you have to be able to scramble. You have to be able to close out. You have to be more physical at the point of attack. Simple things. Really simple basketball plays, y'all. But y'all know what time it is, y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I got to do Locked On NBA right now. We're going to go through all of the games from tonight. Y'all know what time it is, y'all. I'll see you on the other side.